If you're somebody who has worked their way up to a net worth of $100 million or more, then you've basically landed yourself in a position where you can afford luxury real estate, you can own almost as many supercars as you want, you can buy a private plane, you can fill your closet with designer clothing, you can donate to charities, and even after spending your money on all of these things, you're still not going to run out of money. So good news for all of you ultra high net worth individuals out there, we've got yet another thing for you to spend your money on. It all starts with this 955-foot super yacht called Njord that's in the process of being built. And on board this ship, there's going to be 117 private residences being sold, which will range in price from $8.5 million all the way up to $70 million bucks. Now, master plan communities like this have been being built all over the world forever at this point, so it's not unusual for a real estate developer to build 100 homes or more at the same time and then list them for sale. But building over 100 homes on a traveling super yacht like this is totally unprecedented, and it's giving the super rich another way that they need to keep up with the Joneses. In today's episode, let's talk about this massive, over-the-top, carbon-neutral residential mega yacht known as Njord. Typically, really big boats are built as yachts, container ships, or cruise ships, so that's kind of what makes this Njord project so unique and so cool. The website dedicated to this development shows us the highlights of the ship, first calling it a residential super yacht. The boat is 955 feet long or 291 meters. The tonnage is massive at 86,000. It'll come with 13 decks. A crew of 300 will be required to staff the boat basically at all times. And this thing will operate worldwide, meaning if you own one of the residences on here, your home is going to constantly be moving to different locations around the world. This map here shows exactly what routes they expect to take. This boat is going to go just about everywhere on the planet. For a size comparison, the average size ferry is going to be somewhere in the range of 100 to 150 feet. The average mega yacht is going to be somewhere around 260 feet. Then the next step up in size is when you get into cruise ships. You've got the Titanic, which stretched 883 feet long. And then for a much more modern cruise ship, there is Symphony of the Seas, which is owned by the Royal Caribbean. This boat is 1,180 feet or 360 meters long. All of these bigger cruise ships are massive. If you've ever seen one in person, you know that their size is almost hard to wrap your head around. Of course, this new Njord boat falls right in line though with the rest. At 955 feet long, it will be larger than the Titanic, stretching around 3 football fields in length. The company who dreamed up this amazing ship concept is called Ocean Residences Development, and their website describes them as the world's premier developer of floating residences. These guys create high-end floating real estate developments, state-of-the-art ship designs, and long-lasting legacies. They develop safety best practices, hospitality to the highest operational standards, and sustainable shipbuilding. Scrolling through their executive team, this company is no joke. They are loaded with highly experienced executives who have spent decades in real estate development and ship construction. Plus, of course, they have people on the team dedicated to everything from construction and design to sales and vessel operations. A developer in the shipbuilding world is very similar to a real estate developer here on land. Their job is basically to come up with a vision and then put together a team to execute on that vision. So along with the extensive team that Ocean Residences has, they also have a handful of partners on this project, one of them being the world-renowned shipbuilder out of Germany, Meyer Werft. If you scroll through Meyer Werft's resume of completed projects on their website, you can see very clearly that this is a group that is no stranger to building big boats. The Njord ship is currently in the planning phase and is scheduled to start construction soon, but the developer just made the first 10 residences available for sale, so let's check those out next. These homes are going to range in size from 1,500 square feet up to 9,000 square feet, with pricing starting at $4,800 per square foot. They'll come with anywhere from 2 bedrooms to 6 bedrooms. They'll have floor-to-ceiling windows, ocean views, and hand-picked materials. And if you buy one of these properties, even though they're going to be located on a boat, they're going to come with all of your standard features that you would see in a condo or a house. You'll get a full-size kitchen, a living room, a dining room, several bathrooms, and even terrace space. The designers Kelly Hoppen and David Lindley went for a modern look, and you can see as we flip through these renderings that there's a lot of ocean-like colors on the interiors. There's a lot of curves and movement in the walls of the rooms too, which is pretty cool. And of course you have tons of glass, which not only dumps natural light into the rooms, but it also allows for amazing views as this ship is traveling around the world. Here you can see that there will be 16 different floor plans to pick from, so a pretty good variety. And if we click here on Penthouse 11, this shows us how one of the larger units would flow. On your main level, you've got your main entrance down here, which leads you to a sitting area, a living area, a dining area, and then a kitchen over here to the left. There's a study or a third bedroom on the right, and then you've got this massive wraparound terrace with a swimming pool in the middle. Then on the upper level of this penthouse unit, you have a guest bedroom on the right, a big loft area here in the center, the primary bedroom, which is on the left, and then over on the bottom here, we've got a movie theater and a gym. This single penthouse has more floor space than some of the smaller yachts that exist out there. It's hard to believe that this is just one of 117 luxury residences that are going to be on this boat. Njord is set up to offer its homeowners some of the coolest experiences imaginable. There are immersion experiences on shore, daily lectures on the boat given by people like archaeologists and marine biologists. Plus, the ship is outfitted with 4 super yacht limo tenders, 2 dive and fishing boats, 2 submarines, paddleboards, sailboats, and a fully equipped dive center. For dining, they are offering 6 different restaurants on the ship with Michelin star chefs. The fitness center is also over the top with a standard gym, yoga and meditation platforms, and a sports concierge. Then if you want to hang out with your neighbors, you've got the main pool deck, a telescope space observatory, a flight simulator, a golf simulator, a billiards room, a library, an outdoor movie screen, an arts and crafts studio, a kids club, the lecture theater, and then a house of worship. They really thought of everything here, but I kind of feel like if you owned a house on this boat, this is one of those vacations that you go on where you come home and you need a vacation from your vacation. For interested buyers, you need to put down a 1% deposit to reserve a residence. So depending on what home you choose, this could range from $85,000 all the way up to $700,000. After that, you'll need to put down another 9% by November of 2022. Another 20% will be due once the ship starts being built. And you guys can follow the rest here. Fast forward to once the unit is actually delivered to you as the buyer. At that point, you will have paid in full for your home. I'm not sure if anybody caught this, by the way, but let's check out that fine print. So here it says, once the contract has been completed, 1% of the purchase price is non-refundable, even if the ship is not built. What? So basically what that means is if you're the buyer of that $70 million penthouse unit, then you're gonna put up your $700,000 deposit knowing that you could very well lose all of that money if the developer just decides that the ship is not going to get built. Some of the other frequently asked questions down here are interesting. One of them asks, what is the guarantee that the ship will be built? Great question. And they say once construction commences, Meyer Werft provides a 100% guarantee that the ship will be delivered and are backed by financing guarantees from KfW, Germany's development bank. Another one asking about how is construction financed, which they say is with a combination of private and institutional investment capital, as well as residence purchase contracts backed by refund guarantees. That's all pretty standard for development projects. Asking if construction has commenced yet, they say that steel cutting is anticipated for 2023 and the ship will be finished by 2026. And this is an interesting question, but kind of a confusing response. So they say, do I own my unit on board the ship? The answer is yes, but through a 50-year use rights through unit interest in the Njord Residence Association. and that you'll have the right to renew the leasehold at the end of the 50-year term. I did some more digging on this because, to be honest, guys, this part kind of confused me, and the way that I understand what's going on here is that they're basically building this boat to last about 50 years in total, and so that means that technically your ownership of your home on the boat only lasts for 50 years. The good news is, though, that if the boat is still floating in 50 years and if it's still in good enough condition to be traveling around the world, then you as an owner have the right to extend your ownership for another 50 years for a small fee. There's a ton of other questions here on the website about insurance, whether food and beverages are included in the association fee, if you can resell your residence, how the crew for the boat is chosen, whether or not you can bring a pet on board, tons of stuff. I'll link to the website in the description if any of you guys want to read more into this on your own time. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. This was a fascinating one for me to put together. Let me know down in the comments if you think that these Njord residences will actually sell. I'll see you next time.